Yes. Anyway, all right. Hi. Welcome back to Mel. I am Mel, your host for this channel. Last week I launched my very first episode, so if you haven't seen it yet, please go back to my channel and check it out. Today, we're going to go over some fall 2021 new shows that are out now. Our first one is called Blue Period. Blue Period is a Netflix exclusive anime. So if you don't have Netflix, I don't know what you've been doing for your life. I guess you're probably better off than most of us. But please do go subscribe if you want to watch Blue Period. The concept of Blue Period, overall theme, if I had to explain it on one sentence-ish, is finding happiness. Our main character works hard, is a regular high school student, gets great grades, and hangs out with his friends like any regular high school student. So I would say that he has enough to be happy about or to enjoy. Unfortunately, that's not the case. For the most part, he feels like life is just boring. He feels indifferent about it. He doesn't find any joy, any fulfillment. Even though like there's not much enjoyment to get out of high school if all you do is study, you could at least say that you feel proud or happy when you get great grades. But he doesn't feel any of that. He's just like, cool, whatever. But our main character starts to, you know, turn a leaf, you could say, or finds a way to turn his leaf in finding some happiness and enjoyment. Like I said, the basic theme of the show is fulfilling enjoyment and happiness. He discovers an art club in which one of his friends is in, and suddenly finds interest in something that he never has in his life. As the show goes on, which there isn't much to watch, and from what I've seen so far, the discovery of art starts to generate emotions for him, where he feels like this probably is the only one thing in life that I can do or I want to do, and this will bring me joy. But what ends up stopping him at times is that art will not feed you or your family. It will not bring you money. Like, we're not all going to be Banksy. So, can he really pursue art and be successful in life? It holds him back quite a bit. And you kind of get to be immersed in how this character chooses to pursue this interest and be successful in life, for lack of better words. All right, now that we're done with Blue Period, let's get into anime number 2. This one has had a lot of hype, I guess, for fall 2021 animes, being that it's done by the creator of Death Note, which we went over in our previous video, and another anime called Bakuman. I'm not going to go into that one during this episode, but I highly suggest you check that one out too. This show is called Platinum End. From what I've seen so far, it has a lot of similarities to Death Note. A lot of concepts of death that it goes into, the afterlife, um, like angels and things of that nature. So there are some like very strong connections that you could see right away. But it kind of spins it on its head a little bit, where our main character, and it starts out very strong, tries to commit suicide. So yeah. You're like watching it, and like within the first 5 minutes, it's just like, okay, what the hell is going on? This character is about to commit suicide. Where are we going with this? So the premise of the show, like very short line, let's try to define this in like 2 sentences. He tries to commit suicide, and Angel saves his life, and in saving his life, says that, hey, look, I see that you've given up on life. You are ready to end your life, but I've given you a second chance, as you are a candidate to be the next god. The next god. Wow. That's extremely jarring. Imagine someone just saving your life ready when you're ready to like just give it all up, and they're saying like, yeah, you know what, we understand that your life was hard and you couldn't go on with it anymore. You chose to feel like you couldn't live anymore. But now that we've given you the chance to live, we want you to also have a chance to be the next God. That is a lot for somebody to digest. Regardless, he is given godlike abilities or angel like abilities to start, where he has wings and he can fly, and he also has the ability to kill people. Now, our main character is not, he's more of the quiet, humble type, wants to keep to himself, obviously, and is definitely not interested in killing anybody. Um, as the story goes on, and again, there have only been 2 episodes of this show as well, he finds himself in a precarious situation where he kind of has to go about this whole God candidacy evaluation in order for him to perhaps find happiness in life. Now that he's been given this new chance, he wants to be able to find happiness and he sees the light in living. Unfortunately, it's not as easy as it comes out to be. There are quite a few obstacles that come into play, considering that he is not the only God candidate. There are a bunch of other God candidates, and some of them are not as nice as our main character. Some of them are not really using their powers for good. Uh, and others are taking it upon themselves to be heroes. So there are a lot of different takes on different God candidates that he essentially must compete against, which puts him in a difficult spot. He just kind of wants to go to high school, get a good job, and raise a family. I would say that Death Note and Platinum End have enough similarities that if you like one, you'll probably like the other. So please check it out. Next on our list, number 3, is called Takt OP Destiny. Takt OP Destiny is an original anime, so there's no manga for you to read on this one, whereas the others, there kind of are. You kind of just have to grin and bear it if the season ends and there's nothing to read. But what's interesting that I did find while reading into this is that there's also a video game called Takt OP, and I think there's more to it. But essentially, if you want to know more, you could find the game. I don't know if it's been released yet. I did read that it was supposed to be released this year within 2021. It may have been released before the anime, but basically, long story short, you can't check out any manga. Just watch the show. So Tactile P Destiny is a very interesting concept. I feel like it has a lot of promise. What drew me to this anime is the art style, and the studios that have partnered up to create this anime, known as Madhouse and Mappa. Now, if you've watched Attack on Titan or Jujutsu Kaisen, Mappa is the studio that helped create those animes, and if you've seen them, you know how kind of stellar and beautiful the animation and the artwork is. So if you really are keen on animation artwork or just like the feel of it and how it looks, this will give you that. I promise you. Tactile P Destiny has a very interesting concept to it. It's basically set in the future. I want to say it's 2047, and there's no music in the world. A world without music. I don't know about you guys, but I use music to basically start my day, or to get energy, or to go to the gym, or when I'm driving in the car. And it's not like there's lack of technology, like there are still cars and stuff of that nature, but there's no music. And people have to live their lives without music due to the fact that at some point in the past, I don't know how many years ago, some meteor crashed to Earth, brought these monsters, and these monsters don't like music. And anytime they hear music, they attack. In order to help save society, they were like, all right, guys, we're going to cease and desist with the music. No one can enjoy this anymore. And I think there were even generations that were later born that don't even know what music is. Now, this brings us to our main characters. Our main characters are a conductor, like literally a conductor, kind of, and what you call a music cart. Don't really know what a music cart is. I'm hoping that they'll explain this later on within the show, but a music cart or music carts are a group of girls slash women who were designed to work with conductors to play music as a means of attacking these monsters. It's probably one of the most unique anime attack systems that I've ever seen. I honestly can't even use any examples off the top of my head from other animes. That's how unique this is. So for that reason, I've kind of added it to my most interesting and anticipated anime for fall 2021. We're going to go back to a Netflix exclusive for our fourth anime. This one is called Comey Can't Communicate. Now, I'm not going to lie. I think I just watched the trailer for this a few hours ago. Just kind of to get a sense of what it is, considering that it's not even out yet. I wanted to take the chance to watch an episode first before I talked about it, but being that the first episode doesn't drop until October 21st, and I really wanted to get this out to you guys as soon as possible, I decided, all right, let me just watch a trailer and see what this is about. For the most part, when you see a title, Comey Can't Communicate, you assume that the main character, like, can't talk. And that's basically what it is. The main character, Comey, cannot talk. Like, she has a hard time talking. Um, and at first, when I saw the name in the beginning of the trailer, I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. Is this even going to be popular? But as they go through the show, it shows little signs of uh, like how she tries to communicate with people or that she wants to communicate with people but she has a hard time, kind of giving you the sense that she has some social anxiety, or difficulty talking to people in public. She just may feel uncomfortable, which I think a lot of people in society have issues with or have a hard time with. What makes it so promising, though, is that even though she can't communicate, she wants to, and the animation does a really good job of sound effects that she makes and showing interest through cute little cat ears, and other animations, to essentially communicate her thoughts and feelings that we can't really hear. So I feel like it's going to be like a good slice of life, semi comedy, just a overall wholesome, good feel anime that Netflix is dropping. I do want for you all to keep in mind that even though it's on Netflix, it turns out that both Blue Period that I mentioned earlier and Comey Can't Communicate will be dropping on a weekly basis. Not like you're just going to drop the entire anime, you guys can binge it and then wait an entire year for you to see it. No, they're pacing it like all the other services normally do, whether it be Hulu or Funimation or Crunchyroll. If you want to watch it, you're gonna have to wait. You can't binge it, but I feel like that's the right way to watch anime and it helps you immerse in the anime itself versus just like binging it all in one sitting. Now, I've mostly talked about brand new animes for fall 2021. I do want to talk about one last one that's not really brand new, considering the first core of it, or the first half of it, came out in spring of 2021. But they had a little break in between during the summer, and they're now back with the second core. This last anime is called 86. And the way that it's written, mind you, is like the number 86 and then the word 86 spelled out. Essentially it's a show about it's like a mecha anime, and they're in a society where they're at war with another country. However, the society that's at war with another country is made of all white hair and like blue-eyed people. I don't think I'm going to spell it out for you guys, but I think you can draw strong delineations in history with what's going on here, as these group of people have kind of said, hey, You know, we all have white hair, we all have blue eyes. We've kind of evolved to be higher beings in society. So anyone who didn't choose to evolve, who still has like brown eyes or any other different color eyes, or who have anything but white hair, you guys are no longer classified as human beings. And because you're no longer human beings, you're basically like humanoids, androids, and you will fight this war for us. So they've taken a group of people, and these group of people are from District 86, or rather, they live out in District 86 and fight the war for this country. It's a really sad story. It pulls a lot of heartstrings, but the action is really cool. And while the first half of the core was interesting, I don't know if it was interesting enough to hold viewers for a long time. Not that I'm saying it wasn't good or anything of that nature, but it required you to hold out for a few episodes to really see some action or see how the storyline was developing. Now that we're in the second core, though, there leaves a lot to promise. Like lots of interesting new storylines that are developing that I think it's safe to say that people are probably sleeping on this if you haven't seen it. Now, I can't really go much into that if you haven't seen the first half of 86, but I promise you, what 86 is turning out to be in the second core seems like they will reveal some history to the country that they were fighting the war for and how it just came about to how it just came about that this war started or how it happened. All right. So now that we've gone through all five, I think what we're going to do is, just stop here because they've actually dropped some new episodes that I'm really keen to go watch. So I'm going to leave you guys at that. I'm going to leave it for now. And I suggest you go watch them too and stop watching this since we're done now. That's going to do it for me. I'm Mel again, and this is Annie Mel. Bye.